it's just a good idea has turned into something that's giving me a massive headache at the moment. But I'm going to put the team and then you can all belt me. That's fine. It doesn't matter anyway because you know who we're playing?
We are playing this mob.
We're playing South Australia.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Dunstall's gone into meltdown.
Find Johnson. But why? Who is with Johnson?
I can't find him. What's going on here?
Where is Joe?
James is down there on that, trying to get rid of the...
I was keeping an eye on that. There's something going horribly wrong there.
That makes me laugh.
If you haven't heard that before, that is audio from the South Australian
Hang on.
selection coaches box against Victoria.
Can we just set it up again properly?
Graham Corns,
Steve Kernahan,
Phil
Malin,
and
there's one other.
This is the audio. They're playing Victoria. Things are getting a little out of hand.
Yep.
And
They're trying to work out who's playing on who and where a particular Victorian player is playing at the moment.
Let's have a listen.
Find Johnson. But why? Who is with Johnson?
I can't find him. What's going on here?
Where is Joe?
James is down there on that, trying to get rid of the...
I was keeping an eye on that. There's something going horribly wrong there.
So
We don't really need to pick a very good team.
No, so
to
bear
beat
that in mind. Don't abuse me when we do this. I love the concept. I haven't given it the selection thought that
You
is
would
needed.
under normal circumstances. Yeah.
I'm suggesting that it's playing this week, right?
Yes.
So by the end of the year, if it's announced at the end of the year,
Yep.
Jacob Wiedering will be in, but he's not playing this week.
And you believe in data, you believe in champion data
No, well,
and
I
stats and all that sort of
haven't
stuff, but
really
you
pulled-
haven't. No, but you haven't. This is not a statistically built team. This is Gary's eye test team. You watch a lot of football each and every weekend. Okay, I'm going to give you your flowers here. You watch a hell of a lot of football each and every
Righto,
weekend.
just let me do
This
it.
is your eye test.
And these are the ones that have got to get voted on this morning. It is Sard or Sinclair in the back pocket, right? So we're throwing
These
that
are the
out
ones
there.
up for grabs
Yep.
still. Okay.
Sicily, Grimes.
So Sicily fullback, Grimes in the
Yep,
back pocket.
Yes. Doherty or Angus Brayshaw.
That's still up for grabs too.
What's that?
Well, you've got Sinclair Sard in the back pocket, or you've got Angus Brayshaw or Doherty at half back, right? Is that right?
Something's happened here.
Something's not right here.
Yeah, Lever,
Mm.
Stewart.
Right.
Right?
You're going to leave him there, right?
Yeah.
At centre half back, and then you have Stewart at half back.
Yes.
Centre line.
Langdon,
Yep.
Andrew Brayshaw,
Andrew Brayshaw.
and then Bailey Smith or Sam Walsh. There's another one up for grabs.
Okay, so we've got three positions so far still up for grabs.
What about this half forward line?
Yep.
Bontempelli, Curnow, Petrarca.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Dusty, I know he hasn't been in ripping form, but you can't play a big game without Dusty. Max King, Jeremy Cameron,
Mm-hmm.
Gawn, Oliver, and then Miller or Wines.
Miller or Wines?
Took Miller.
Yep.
Or Ollie Wines.
Yep.
And then,
We've got a big bench.
Crumbs. Sean Darcy,
Mm.
Jack Crisp,
Yep.
Hugh McCluggage,
Mm.
Jade Gresham,
Mm.
Darcy Parish, Luke Parker. These are all, and Jaden Short. They're all to the benches to be decided as well.
Okay, so
what
the
do you
bi-
think of the side?
No, it's good. It's very, very good. The three up for grabs then are Sinclair or Sard in the back pocket.
Yes.
Angus Brayshaw or Doherty at
Yes.
half back, or on the wing,
Smith or Walsh.
Smith or Walsh. So if
Took
you
Miller or Ollie Wines.
or Ollie Wines. Okay, so there's 4 spots up for grabs there. That's the starting 18.
That's a fine
That's
side.
a fine team. That is a nicely balanced outfit, that is. So join us. Jump on the line now if you've got some suggestions. And maybe Gary's overlooked somebody.
Yeah,
I doubt it.
no,
I doubt it
no.
very much given the work you put into
There's
it. but-
every chance I've overlooked someone. So then, this is why I love the concept. So all of a sudden, Andrew Brayshaw is going to get a Victorian jumper, a State of Origin jumper. He spent his whole footy career playing over in Western Australia. He gets to come back and play in front of his Victorian crowd. Charlie Curnow is going to get a Victorian jumper. Took Miller might come
Right.
back and get a Victorian jumper. How good would all that be?
It would be absolutely magnificent. If you were to break down the wing in particular, that battle between Walsh and Smith, how might you be thinking about deciding which way you go there?
Impossible. That's it.
Well, it's not impossible.
Well,
you
it
have to
is.
choose one or the other.
They both play pretty similarly. You know,
Okay.
They work rate. They both cover the ground.
Who do you think is more effective with their disposal and their ball use of those two players? Eye test.
Eye test. Maybe Sam. Well, I don't think. In fact, I don't think it's one of their greatest strengths. Of all their strengths,
I
I
agree.
don't reckon that ball use is absolutely at the high level. It's their ability to run and work from one end to the other, their accumulation, their hardness. All those issues are just outstanding.
Marking ability?
Well, no, I don't think either of them are great marks.
I think Walsh is probably a better overhead mark than Smith. Not that they're ever placed in that position, but I think he's got the capabilities of being that more than Smith has.
Yeah.
I would have Walsh ahead of Smith.
Charlie Curnow's in for that person who's got a question mark. He's at centre half forward. Cripps is Western Australian, so he's not in our side. Jamie's in Darlinghurst. G'day, Jamie.
Yeah, just a quick one, Gaz. Mate, weren't the Brayshaws born in WA?
Yeah, but they played their scene. By the time they started getting serious about their footy, they were in Victoria. Sandringham Dragons, Haileybury. They did all their footy playing at Haileybury College.
Jamie, Garry was born in Tasmania. You didn't play for Tassie, did you?
No, I did not. No, but it's a good point. And Tom Hawkins was born in Finley, so maybe the Allies might want to pick him up for their team because he didn't quite get in. Max King, imagine him playing at full forward with Charlie Curnow at centre half forward and Dustin Martin in the pocket.
You got King at full forward. Yeah, you got King at full forward.
Yep.
Curnow doesn't play necessarily centre half forward, but he's capable of playing further up the ground. Sinclair or Sard?
Yes.
You've got to break that down too.
Yes.
How would you separate those two?
I think
He's been the revelation
Sard,
of the season, Sinclair.
Yeah,
Jack
and
Sinclair.
I think Sard deserves a heap of credit as well because I think when he got recruited to Essendon, everyone kept talking about his run and his dash and all that, and I think he forgot to defend at times. And I think this year he's made that adjustment magnificently. He sort of defend first, but then run off. So I think he made that adjustment beautifully. And well, Sinclair, you're talking about St Kilda are in the top couple of teams in the competition. You got to acknowledge their performances. So Sinclair's important in it. Gresham's important in
Okay,
it.
you can only choose one though.
Well, it's not up for me. I'm throwing it out to our audience.
No, but I'm asking you a direct question. You can only choose one.
I don't
You're
want
going
to
with
lead the
Sinclair.
witness.
You won't be leading the witness. People will decide.
I'm
for
leaning
themselves.
towards Sinclair
Okay.
at this stage.
Thank you. Angus Brayshaw and Doherty on the halfback flank. What do you want from your halfback flanker?
Well,
Is this a lockdown halfback flanker, or do you want is drive more important for you
everything.
and run?
This is state football, Wisp. You've got to
Yeah,
be able to do
yeah,
all
but
of
hang
that.
on a minute. Just on that point, remember we are playing against this mob, and they do get a little bit confused in the coach's box.
Find Johnson. Who is with Johnson?
I can't find him. What's going on here?
Where is Joe?
Danger down there on that, trying to get rid of the...
I was keeping an eye on that. There's something going horribly wrong there.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. I think Doherty's been great. Brayshaw's been great. They both are senior players. They both cover, for their teams really well. Get back in the hole, read the play, read the cues. I've got Angus Brayshaw just in front. Could be my Melbourne bias. Probably watched him more than I've watched Sam Doherty. Sam Doherty, I'm acknowledging he's had a great year.
Might be a Brayshaw
Luke
bias.
Ryan has been nominated. Yes, I thought about him as well.
Yes.
He's certainly one that would need to be in consideration.
And Andy Brayshaw, you got him in the middle,
Yeah.
in the centre position starting, ahead of Petrarca, ahead of Bontempelli.
Well, I think both those players have got the capacity to play forward and have been playing forward every bit as much as they've been playing in the midfield. And Andrew Brayshaw is
Ahead of Tuke Miller.
had an elite season. Elite season, Andrew Brayshaw.
No, I'm not denying that at all. But there are a lot of great midfielders running around that Victorian base.
And that's
as
the
well.
hardest thing because then you got Hugh McCluggage, you got Gresham, you got McRae, you
Yep.
got Jack McRae,
Yep.
who's we got to try and fit him in. Luke Parker, you got Jaden Short's had a year that you'd have to start thinking about. It's damn hard. Lockie Neal's not in the side. He's a South Australian.
South Australian, he is.
He'll
Yeah.
be in Corn's side.
Tuke Miller or Ollie Wines. I'm not sure Ollie Wines has had the same productive year, has he, that he had last year?
The last 4 weeks have been really good.
Yeah.
He started well, then had the little scare, missed a bit of footy. Tuke Miller, I don't think Tuke's had as good a year as he's had last year. He still had a great year.
A lot of Collingwood people sending text messages in as well. They believe that Crisp should definitely be in the starting 18.
Yeah, I got Crisp here as one on the bet. Well, that's good. You got to, if you want Crisp in, you got to take one out. So I'm absolutely happy to talk about it and debate it. But have you got Cripps ahead of Andrew Brayshaw? Have you got Cripps ahead of Oliver? Have you got Cripps ahead of Wines and Miller? Well,
Right.
that could be an argument. He's in that argument for sure.
So you got Gawn in the first ruck position. You got Sean Darcy as the backup ruckman, yes?
Yes.
And how are you going to rotate those two? Is it 50-50 or have you got a preference one over the other?
Max will probably ruck the first part of the quarter and then hand over to Hodor.
Right. So it's like a 60-40 type arrangement?
Well, Max,
or-
under normal circumstances, Max goes forward, but he doesn't need to. Not this side. Not with Big King down there and Jeremy Cameron and Charlie Curnow.
right.
So-
You got some goal power in your forward line. You got Bontempelli, Curnow, Petrarca, Dusty in a forward pocket, King and Cameron.
I'm not getting
That's
as,
a hell of a front
I'm
six.
not getting as much abuse as I thought I would. This must be a pretty good side.
Well, Gary, take your Melbourne glasses off. That just came through. Cam Rayner's unlucky.
No,
Josh
he's not.
Kelly over.
Cam Rayner's not unlucky.
What about Josh Kelly over Wines or Miller?
Not for mine, Ryan, but appreciate you putting him up.
Gary, what about Darcy Moore? Do you know that he plays AFL football? That's just come through from
Yep.
a Collingwood fan.
Yep. So Darcy Moore got superseded by Sicily in my team or in Jake Lever.
Right.
So you could argue more over Lever. I don't know if Darcy's had his best year, but he's you know what always happens when you were part of these teams for a long time is you get the training and you lose 6 of these blokes.
Right. Cal Wilkie, we've discovered, is a South Australian.
Yeah, he was in my
He
team.
was in your team yesterday.
Yes, indeed he was.
And you're absolutely right, whoever sent that text in. Wilkie has been on fire, rarely loses a one-on-one. I think he's one of the best defenders going around.
He was in our
100% on
team
that.
yesterday, but we found out that he's a South Australian. So Corn will have him. Angus Brayshaw, Adrian says Angus Brayshaw's been average this year. I disagree, Adrian, having watched them all this year, but that's okay. That's an opinion. Cripps is from Western Australia, that's right.
Yep. And Tom Lynch, he was a consideration, yes, wasn't he?
For,
Richmond's Tom Lynch.
Yeah, but
He can't play this weekend.
got the hamstring. Plus, I don't know whether I'd have Tom Lynch in front of King or Cameron.
Mm.
Maybe others would. But there it is. I think we've nailed it. But so by the end of the day, end of our program, we'll nutted out those teams.
Right.
And you're absolutely right. Those blokes who are in contention in the ones or twos will have to go onto the bench, won't they?
Well, it's going to be a very solid bench. How many are you having on the bench, by the way?
About 19.